What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and welcome back. Guten Tag, I suppose. That's good morning. But anyways, Guten anytime. Welcome back to Shadowrun Returns Dragonfall. My name is Splattercat, and as always, it's nice to have you here in Berlin with me. In the previous episode, we'd done a lot of legwork and it was a lot of conversating, I guess, would be the way that I would classify that episode as definitely being a dialogue episode. In this episode, I think we're gonna do more of the same. This game definitely seems to be a bit more dialogue heavy than the previous game. And while I'm okay with that, I know there's some people that are really gonna be turned off by that feature. Let's talk to Dietrich. I've got nothing more to say, boss. Let's just get this run taken care of. Okay, so I guess that's the same dialogue that he did in the previous episode. Come on, doggy! What in the, doggy? Why? Dog's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna hang out with the troll for now. Let's go ahead and check out the computer console. They had said that there might be some useful information here for our run in the future. Your workstation and mission computer, the command center for your team's operations, and your last link to the memory of Monica Schaefer. Her thoughts and words live on in the machine. At times, it's easy to forget that she's gone. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. A blinking message in the upper right corner notifies that you have 0 unread messages. Let's open... Oof, there's a lot of stuff here. This is a lot to take in. What's Shadowland BBS? Shadowland connection established successfully, and we'll post pay data for sale. We have the Antiquities delivery schedule. So I guess this is going to be our data broker. We don't have to actually line up with a fixer or anything of that nature since we have one in-house. It looks like he's given us all the software to get things done. I guess we'll post the Antiquities delivery schedule and see how much money we make off of it. Posting remains active for 2 days. Oh, interesting. All right. So that's going to be us selling off data. Let's go ahead and look at the team's personnel files. The AMSL file. The image of Monica appears on the screen. Paul, a talented and well-connected fixer with contacts all over Berlin. She pauses for a moment. He's more to me than that, of course, but that's neither here nor there. The image winks back off the screen. You find yourself back at the menu. Dietrich, one of my dearest friends and a shaman of tremendous power, a good man to have at your side in a fight. I tend to use Dietrich in a support role. His magic can dramatically bolster the combat effectiveness of a frontline fighter like Iger or Glory. But when the chips are down, he's more than capable of dishing out punishment of his own. Can't think of much else to say about Dietrich, just a good, reliable guy. She pauses for a moment, and when she speaks again, you can hear a hint of guilt in her voice. He's getting a little long in the tooth for a Shadowrunner, though. I'm not sure how many more years he has ahead of him in this game, but I'll be happy to run with him for as long as he's able. We'll see, I suppose. The image winks back off the screen and you find yourself at the menu. Glory, our damaged enigma. I've known her for almost 5 years now, but I don't think that I'll ever really know her. Somehow I doubt that anybody ever will. An operational level, Glory's solid. The chrome of hers may be old, but it gets the job done. I've seen her take a troll apart with her hand razors, and when her adrenal pump is running, she moves faster than anyone I've ever seen. On top of all that, Glory's a competent field medic. I don't know where she learned medicine, yet another question mark, but she's patched me up at least a dozen times. Between her skill with a medkit and Dietrich's magic, we haven't had much trouble with serious injuries. In our line of work, that's really a luxury. She pauses for a moment and then she shrugs. That's really all I know about Glory. She keeps to herself and barely talks and spends most of her off time staring at nothing. I've seen this kind of behavior before, of course. Something bad has happened in her past. Deep down, I think she's still running from it, and I'm sure that her cyberware ties into it somehow. I don't know, maybe someday she'll open to me. I'd like to think that she will, but we'll see, I suppose. Iger. What to say about Iger? She's smart, she's strong, and she's one hell of a soldier. In a close-up fight, I've seen her take apart an entire security team with her shotgun, and she's even more dangerous at range. It's a handy thing having a trained sniper on the team. All in all, we enjoy one hell of an advantage thanks to her. Unfortunately, there are some disadvantages too. All that military training has left her, how to say it, rigid, I guess. Unlike the others, Iger isn't content to go with the flow. She wants lists, maps, and timetables. She wants a hierarchy, she wants it formalized. I don't think that she realizes it, but giving her what she wants would destroy this team. Glory and Dietrich wouldn't put up with it for more than a day or two. I know that I wouldn't, but she keeps on pushing all the time. Monica shakes her head. One of these days, this situation is going to come to a head, and I just hope that it doesn't happen soon. Ooh, let's find out about ourselves. The image of Monica smiles on the screen. Three-Toe, my secret weapon. I've run enough with Three-Toe to know that he's trustworthy, good in a fight too, but beyond all that, it's good just to see him again. There aren't many people left from the old days, far too few, and Three-Toe, she smiles, well, he was always the best of them. She takes a deep breath, then shakes her head with a sigh. God, that was sappy. Mental note, re-record this before Three-Toe gets a chance to see it. At any rate, if anything happens to me, it's good to know that he'll be on hand to fill my shoes. It's not what Iger would want, but it is what would be best for the team. Alright, so we've got a nice little briefing on how the developers, or how, in a metagame sense, how the developers want us to use our characters. Let's check out jobs. View all pending and active jobs. Oh, there's nothing. So I guess, well, we'll try one more time. Maybe I clicked something wrong here. There's nothing. So I guess we'll just go back and handle the job that we're going to have in the first place. I'm not going to read any old messages or anything like that. We need to get into the action. Part of me wants to leave Dietrich behind, although we may want to equip ourselves too before we go any further. I'll be the first to admit that our equipment is a tad lackluster. Just haste and acid bolt are not going to do it for a spellcaster. If we're going to leave Dietrich behind in the interest of bringing along Iger and Glory, which I think is going to be the best option right now, because we don't want to share special, like he's a shaman too, and we're already a shaman, so I don't really see any point in bringing him along. Let's go ahead and kit ourselves up with some of the things that are going to be useful for the future. It is useful to note that if you're playing the game, if you have to go a long distance, you want to scroll there and then click the button, and what it'll do for you is it'll actually sort of fast travel you there, kinda. The way that I'd explain it, I think this was the Talismonger right here. It'll make you move at double speed. So you see right there how he's running really, really fast? That's what I'm talking about. But you have to be far enough away in order for it to work. If you click kind of close, he runs slowly like so. So if you're trying to speed up your travel times, just a little bit of advice from me, chummers. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get any awesome wares from Algernon. Although he might be majory. I don't know if he's going to have everything or if he's going to have anything that's going to help us. Ooh, we have a new outfit. I may buy that. We've only got $12.50 right now for our funds. We don't have a lot of money. And I don't think we have anything to sell either. So we're on limited funds right now. We want to be careful about the things that we acquire for ourselves. I do want a copy of Heal Wound. For sure, if we're going to be getting rid of Dietrich. And that appears to be about the only thing that we can purchase. I'd also like Power Bolt because it does a little bit more damage. So on the next turn, there's no like real use in using Acid Bolt. So we want to dot them up, and then we want to switch to Power Bolt for our basic DPS if we can handle it. We don't have a whole lot of other stuff up our sleeve. I see Acid Stream over here. It does -6 HP for 1 round. I'd prefer to find some of the things that would be useful for us as a shaman. We can create our own cover barriers, which is kind of the special thing that shaman can do. They create cover where originally there was none, which will be really, really nice if we ever get ourselves caught in a position where we're out in the open and we're just being fired upon. So there's air barrier. I think there's another one too. There's air barrier and there's something else. Mana Bolt might be really, really nice to have. It's got a long cooldown, but it still might be good if we can afford it. That's slow. With regards to stuff that they have for a shaman, I don't see a lot. I mean, air barrier might be nice, but I don't really see it being incredibly useful. But it's one of those things that you don't want to wait until it's too late to have. For now, I think I'm gonna go with Mana Bolt. Well, God, let's go with air barrier. And if we end up needing it, I mean, we're going to leave Dietrich behind. And the only thing that I really like Dietrich for is Heal Wound. So let's confirm that. And now that we're all strapped in, let's get on out of here. I would have liked to have bought some armor, but there's no other jobs around that we could do in the first place. So I get the feeling that we're still stuck in the prologue. I saw our first mission being handled from over here. And I don't want to... I wonder if it's going to allow me to allocate my Shadowrunners when I click here. Or when I go somewhere else. Okay, so we get to assemble the team from here. Let's assemble the team. Or is it just going to bring everybody with us? Because we're going to have to drop Dietrich for a Decker. We don't have a choice there. Das Kesselhaus Hotel and Nightclub, crown jewel of the Drogenkeeper, the filthiest kies in Berlin. I don't know why I'm rolling my R's on that. I know I shouldn't be doing that, and I'm doing it anyways. Opening the door to the ground level dance club is like bashing your head into the wall of sound. Flashing lights stab your eyes, and the air is perfumed with cheap synthahol and engine grease. Everything in here is cranked up to 11, a playground for the numb. Green Winters is somewhere in this building. You steel yourself for the sensory assault and step inside. The team makes a quick check of their weapons and follows you into Das Kesselhaus. I think we've got everybody where we want them. Now that we both have heal, it's going to be very difficult to damage up this group. There's a slight delay in between my clicks here that's making me I don't know, there's a lot of weird interface things that are in this game that weren't before. Like when I'm clicking this, there's a long delay in between it swapping characters, like it's trying to index or find something. But I guess I'll just ignore it for now. Oh yeah, let's open the karma screen. I forgot that I had extra karma to spend. So with 6 karma, we have a pretty good body score, which is weird. They've given us a reasonable allotment for our body. That increases the amount of HP that we have. It kind of gives us a nice little buffer for damage as well. Ranged combat, we may want to put some points in there and just kind of dedicate to being able to shotgun people. Having some weapon skills has never been a bad thing. A little bit of dodge might not kill us either. However, we are trying to be a budding mage, and so it might be nice to put in another dose of willpower, like a little bit of extra willpower, a little bit of extra spell casting. We're in a nice spot here. What do we get here? An extra spellbook slot. Okay. We could also increase our spirit control. I think I'm going to go for weapon skills on this level up just because that's the thing that we're lacking. I'm going to go for... We do have Mage Bolt though, and we do have basic attacks already locked in, so it's hard for me to decide. Let's get ourselves really, really good at spell casting before we do anything else. So I want to... It increases the chance to hit with conjuring spells. Okay, so we're already maxed out right there. I can't really go any further. I guess we could save up for the next level up. Or we could increase our spellbook size. I think a better choice would go spellcasting 3, and then we'll kind of save the remainder. That'll give us ley lines too, which will be really good. Ley lines, if you don't know what the ley lines are, they're these spots on the map where if you stand on them, it increases your crit chance, it increases your chance to hit, and generally just makes you a juggernaut of spellcasting death. Let's see if we can't find ourselves to green winners here. That bouncer is terrifying looking. He's pretty cybered out. The troll working the door might be the shortest you've ever seen, and the thickest. Despite the pounding music and writhing bodies, his face is buried in a comic book. He looks up, gives you a cursory once-over and sighs. Welcome to Dust Kessel House, now under new management. Again. There's no cover, just go on in and get your fix. That's Kroner at the bar over there, he'll take care of you. He buries his nose back in his comic book while tapping a meaty thumb on the black plastic slung from his belt, a high-powered taser. Just play nice, or you'll meet Herr Zapp. Have fun. I'm looking for someone. Maybe you know him? He keeps his nose in his comic book. I doubt it. This place is filled with interesting people just dying to meet you, so, you know, go meet him. His name's Green Winters. You know him? No. He puts down his comic and his voice slows to a crawl. He makes a point of enunciating each word. I point people to the bar. If someone starts trouble, I give them a taste of Herr Zapp. That's it. That's all I do. God, he's a cheeky guy. He is just generally fun to have around. He gets invited to all the parties, I bet. Well, the bartender's name is Kroner, which is a currency from overseas. I believe, I don't know. Norwegian, maybe? I don't know, maybe Dutch? I have no idea. I don't pay attention. I thought everything swapped over to the euro now anyway, so I'm not too keen on remembering or knowing things like that. The music out here on the dance floor is way too loud for comfort. The scene going down at the bar is even louder. The dealer on duty stands impassively behind the bar. A desperate-looking young woman is pleading with him, apparently to little effect. Alright, Silk, I'm going to explain how this works to you one more time. I get my cash and you get your cram. No cash, no cram. Period. But I need it, Kroner, come on! Her words come out in a desperate whine. Pale skin, sunken eyes, and a trembling lip all point to the early symptoms of withdrawal. And I have cash, I totally do. It's up in my room, but you guys won't let me up there to get it. Hotel's under new management, beautiful. You don't have a room anymore. Whatever was up there, you might as well forget about it. But that's all that I had, and you know I have to get it soon, right? Well, maybe we could work out a trade. Cram for services. Services? Understanding slowly shows on the young woman's face. Her eyes go wide. Come on, Kroner. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Do you want the cram or not? She sets her jaw, a look of disgust on her pallid face. That ain't gonna happen, chummer. Not now, not ever. The bartender shrugs. I give you about a half an hour before the shakes set in, and when that happens, you know where to find me. He turns to another customer with a smirk, leaving the desperate young woman crumpled against the bar. And there's our inn right there. Disgruntled individuals are always your inn. She's gonna know the lay of the place. And if I can make use of her, I think that's gonna be the way that I want to approach this. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna give me the option or not. If I was pen and papering this, she would be the one that I would press first, since she's gonna know where everything's at. Since she lived here, she obviously knows everything. What is this? An expensive bottle of scotch. From the color, you'd guess that the contents are at least 50% water. Yep. Well, let's talk to him first and see how the lay of the land is. New guy, huh? I ain't seen you around here before. What can I get you? I'm looking for a guy who calls himself Green Winters. You know him? He looks at you suspiciously. I think so. He might be staying upstairs. How do I get up there? You don't talk to me, you talk to Frank. He's up in the back, VIP lounge. Now, you want something for the bar, or were you just here to chat? I overheard your little conversation with Silk there. Hey, if she wants her cram, she's gotta pay, same as anybody else. I think your bosses might like to know that you're jamming your customers in exchange for their merch. What do you think? Alright, pal, here's the deal. The guards here, they don't discriminate. If I call them, they're gonna kill everyone in this room other than me. So, unless you want to see bodies start dropping all over the club, you'll back the hell off. Alright, let's check out a selection of cram. It's a designer amphetamine. That's all we got? Well, I'm not gonna be able to get it, so I don't have any money. As much as I'd like to help her, I don't have any cash to do so. Silk looks up at you and a look of abject misery is plastered across her face. Leave me alone, okay? I got problems to deal with. Sounds like the new management stole your property. Answer some quick questions for me and I'll help you get it back. Really? That'd be incredible. Her lips struggle upwards into a facsimile of a smile. I really need that money and I left some things in there, you know? Personal stuff. I can be very discreet. My stuff should be up in room 304. That's where me and Nadja and Sarah were staying until, well, you know. I'll be waiting here when you get back down. So, what did you need to know? Tell me whatever you can about the gang that's taken over the hotel. Bad guys, and I mean real bad guys. The gang that used to run this place wasn't all bad. They kept the cram flowing and the prices weren't too high. They never hassled me as long as I kept buying. The new guys killed them all when they took over. Now I'm stuck dealing with assholes like Kroner. The floor manager, Frank, had a thing for my girl Sarah. He was always coming to her, no matter how many times she told him no. I haven't seen her since the takeover, but he won't stop asking me about her. Guy's a real creep. That's about all I can think of. I steer clear of the new guys when I can. She steals a glance over her shoulder at Kroner, a scowl on her face. I shouldn't have to tell you why. You ever heard of a guy named Green Winters? Nah, I don't think... Oh yeah, wait, I bumped into him like a few days ago. I remember because his name sounds kind of like a chewing gum. I don't think I remember seeing him leave, so he's probably holed up in his room. I'm pretty sure that there's still some people up there, the ones that the gangers missed. I hear they locked themselves in. Can you tell me about the layout of the hotel? Oh, it's a nice enough place, you know, for a factory. Let's see, well, there's a second floor, has a security station, and lots of high-tech stuff up there. And I've heard stories about the penthouse level, something about a sealed vault. There's supposed to be something real valuable in there, but nobody knows what it is. Doesn't stop him from talking about it, though. Thanks, you've been helpful. Sure thing, just hurry back with the stuff, okay? I really, really need it. Bunch of guards hanging out around here. I don't see any other conversational individuals. There's one right there. So there's Frank in the VIP lounge. That's gonna be our guy. And I suppose this is locked up here, right? Okay, what is this over here? It looks like the elevator's been locked down, but the control system is tied to the building's LAN. Okay, well, if we had decking skills or drone skills, it looks like we could hack in and get access to their local ass work, or their local ass work, their local, God, that's Freudian. Anyways, their local access network. Party girl? What do you want, party girl? The girl in the corner is a model stim junkie, all wild eyes and nervous energy. She greets you with a smile so wide as to border on the grotesque. Hey, hey, good looking, you want a party? Excuse me? Come party with me. I've got some cram, right? Or you've got some cram, right? I just love a guy that's willing to share. Sorry, I'm not carrying any. Well, go get some, okay? It's at the bar. I'll be waiting. Well, we'll see. I'm trying to get we're professionals here, and we got a job to do. We're here looking into a dead friend. This wouldn't be the time that we want to allocate ourselves to the partying and general powering out. Pinned to the floor manager's too expensive for this neighborhood and too baggy to be his suit is a name tag. Frank. Yeah, what do you need? Reluctantly, he shifts his attention away from the elvish dancer swaying in front of him. I'm looking for a guy. We have the option to attack him or we could just be direct, but I'm looking for a guy. He calls himself Green Winters. You know him? His face screws up with a look of disgust. Yeah, sad old bastard with a data jack that oozes something nasty. Wears cheap glasses and drinks like a fish. What about him? I need to talk to him. Well, that would be your problem, chummer. My problem is I'm talking to you instead of watching Inga dance. He turns back to the dancer. I need to get into the hotel. Hotel's closed. We're fumigating up there, you know, for bugs. We're in Drogenkeepa. You think I care about a few bugs? I need a room. Look, buddy. Closed is closed, and that's all that we are. He licks his lip and turns his attention back to the dancer. She maintains her 1,000-meter stare over his head. Now take your business to the bar. Take it outside. Ooh, we have a corporate etiquette proc right here. So, Frank, look at us. We're here on business. Corporate business. Business, huh? Frank pauses for a moment, considering. Look, we don't want any corporate trouble around here. Dietrich flashes a grin. Neither do we. Frank looks you to Dietrich to Iger to Gloria and back at you, and then he fumbles in his pocket for something. Alright, the elevator's open. Just try to keep things quiet up there, alright? You'll never know we were here. And so that right there is the benefit of allocating yourselves a couple of etiquettes. Never a bad thing to have around. It'd be kind of funny if you got etiquette from little kits that were called etiquettes. That would be super badass and also punny, so developers, let's make this happen. Let's talk. Let's make this thing dance. We'll make it sparkle. And this door opened up remotely, so that's cool. The elevator seems mechanically sound. That's about all that it has going for it. Candy wrappers and used syringes litter the floor, and the handrails are inexplicably sticky. It would appear that the cleanliness isn't high a priority for the hotel staff. I suppose we will go to the first floor of the hotel and see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. I'm gonna search the whole thing because that's what I am. I'm an explorer. I love to find free stuff. Start barging into rooms randomly. God, we're such assholes. Philco Dynasafe computer system. Ooh, let's access the safe. Please input the password. Ew, it's gonna make us actually Dingles. That does not appear to be the password. I deeply and deeply wish. I deeply regret the fact that our Decker was the one that got it killed. Why couldn't it be you, Dietrich? We don't need you anymore. 231 new yen just sitting on a table. Alright. If I got nothing else going for me, I'll take that. Let's play around with some other things. There's a Chicago poster on the wall. We might as well. I don't know if it's going to be case sensitive either, but we can try. Nothing there. Let's try welcome to Chicago. Hey, let me have my cursor. Nope, nothing. Alright, well that's not going to get us in. I suppose we will jump back out. And we'll continue working our way down the hallway. Everything else looks locked. Guess we'll check the bathroom at the end of the hall. Maybe we'll be able to fight with somebody and get a room key or something. What's this? This section of wall seems to be buckling under its own weight. The aging wallpaper that lines the rest of the hallway has long since peeled away, revealing the structure of the wall underneath. While the underlying structure is reinforced with steel support struts, you can see the signs of rust and metal fatigue everywhere. The entire wall looks like it could give way if enough force were applied. Well, why can't I use somebody in my team to do that? Iger, do it. I command you, Iger. Do my will. No, seriously, this is a dangerous line of work, and I need to have all my ducks in a row in case I get blasted. Nothing in the bathroom. And there was no... Oh, no, there was a door down here. I almost missed it. Zutalu. I'm assuming since they cleaned house, nobody's coming back to claim any of this. A Pomona trauma kit. Okay, so that's going to be helpful for the future, and they're also expensive. I think they're like 400 new yen or something like that, maybe 500. I could be completely wrong, though. They could be cheap, like 250. They're different grades. There might be like gold and silver versions, I think. Let's look. Yeah, I think there's like a gold version that allows you back with like a 50% health boost or something. I don't see anything else popping out at me. So I guess we'll continue our investigations elsewhere. It's disappointing that I can't hack the safe and that there was nothing. Let me look one more time for any cues as to what might allow me to get into the safe. I mean, we could try what it says right there. But yeah, I don't see anything else. I mean, I suppose we could try the obvious. I heard something one time that like 50% of all passwords are password. Nope. And assuming that it might be case sensitive. Nope, once again. It's worth a try. I mean, you never know. I do like that they've implemented stuff like this, though, in the new game. Like, things that can be fiddled with. Lots of unknown variables. Let's go up to the second floor. See what's there. Got employees only on the second floor. But we'll try it out. That means there's going to be people to shoot. We've had a giant lack of people to shoot in the last couple episodes, so I think I might remedy that by finding somebody that has a target written on their forehead. Regroup now! A lady in a suit with an assault rifle. Where does she store that? Ooh, they gave me... I have the benefit of a ley line in between or behind cover. If you give me a ley line behind cover, I'm going to do some serious work here. Lead off with the basics, I guess. Let's get Dietrich into cover. I'm going to try and do the same thing for Iger. And we'll move Glory in too. Ow! Guys are a lot more accurate in this playthrough too. Damn. So don't be the first person into the room. So now that I'm injured, my last wound was a 12. So I'm gonna throw a heal on myself. And in the interest of staying alive, let me do everybody else's activities first. So Dietrich, my friend. I'm gonna move him behind. Let's do these two first. So why is Iger not able to fire so well? So she's got a shotty up close. I guess they nerf your range as you get closer. She's also got kneecap, which is gonna lower somebody's AP. Gonna open up on this dude first, though. What equipment does she have? Could have thrown a grenade, damn. So one guy right there is already nice and softened up for the future. I've got a ley line to make use of. I'm gonna blow up this barrel and see what happens. Cool. Better damage than I would have dealt in the first place, so I'll absolutely consider that one a victory by comparison to other actions I could have taken. He doesn't have Mage Bolt or anything useful like that, I don't think. Nah, he's just got his Kunai, and he's got access to Firebolt or Electro Core. So I think what I'd rather do is I'm going to move him into cover right here, and while that does leave him flanked, he'll deal a bit of damage to her. I wish Glory could help out with this situation. The Goon Boss. What do you have, Glory? You've got a grenade, right? It's a non-lethal one. Okay, so I'm not going to use the grenade. Let's use her Adrenal Pump. We'll get her cooking. And at the moment she's using... Let's do an automatic burst fire from there. And so he's now down. And with the next attack, we'll do an aim shot into that goon right there. Or maybe... Let's see if we can't get rid of this flanking enemy. There it is. Perfect. The plan came together. It was a bit of a gamble, but I'm happy with it. Tried to point blank me, and he tried to run up in me super hard like I was slipping, like nothing was going to happen. Sir, something is indeed going to happen now. With him point blank on the ley line, my preference would be that we just kind of acid him up, I guess. And since he's point blank, we can probably get him with the shotgun pretty good too. And so down he goes. Who said that was a bad idea? Splattercat did. And so now it's turning out to be a decent idea, in fact. Let's throw some kunai at him. Over here, we've got 3 rounds ready to go from our dear friend Glory. Down he goes. Nothing ready to go there, so we're just going to take a kind of haphazard shot. I wasn't thinking anything was going to happen with that one. And now that she's at range, she could probably do a lot of damage with a sniper rifle. So let's see, what does she have? Just an aim shot? How did you do that? Really, with an 89% chance you managed to screw that up? I don't love you anymore. My love, denied to you. From here on out, my love is going to be skimp. I think I'm going to break the episode off right here if it'll allow me to save. It will not. Great. So let's find a place where possibly we could save. Maybe back in the elevator? And I'm going to break the episode off here either way. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. At least we got a little bit of combat in this one, which makes me pretty happy. Take care out there, everybody, and be safe running in the shadows, chummers.